Okay, welcome back. According to the Alzheimer's Foundation of America, over 5 million Americans live with Alzheimer's disease today. So what are the struggles of caring for someone with such a debilitating disease? Here to talk about that and more is the president and CEO of the Alzheimer's Foundation of America, Charles Fuschillo Jr. Hi, Chuck. How are you?
All right, well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Alzheimer's. It's terrible, isn't it?
Terrible disease, and the clinical definition, it's a progressive degenerative disorder that attacks your brain nerve cells that result in memory loss, language and thinking skills, and behavioral changes. And the one thing I want to emphasize here today is that if you see a change in a loved one or a friend's behavior with memory loss or language or behavioral skills, don't be in denial. Address it. It's not the normal part of aging process. And that's critically important, because what we see at the foundation is somebody will call today and say, I see a change, but maybe it's just the way they're acting, maybe they're just getting older.
It happens to me too, that once in a while I'll forget a name or something.
We won't hear from them for a while, and then we should have addressed it then. They should have addressed it then.
Okay, so it's something that you want to keep an eye on all the time,
Absolutely.
basically?
Look, you talk about take care of your body today or take care of you tomorrow. It's the same thing with your brain. Take care of your brain today, take care of you tomorrow. We emphasize brain exercises. You know, you go to your doctor, and we talked about this before, you get a physical. But how many times did they say, let me give you a memory screening, let me check your brain? And that's so critically important as we age. That's right.
And obviously, is it getting worse?
It's becoming more prevalent in our society.
But why is that?
Because people are living longer.
And
that's a good thing.
It's great.
We want to live longer, but it's becoming more prevalent in our society. There's over, as you mentioned, over 5 million people today that are living with the disease, but then use that as a multiplier of 3 for the caregivers. And you're looking at more than 20 million, 15 to 20 million people that this affects. And it's not just those that are living with the disease, it's the caregivers we're concerned about as well.
So what is currently being done to address the issue then?
Well, research is being done, you know, on a national and a worldwide level, but not enough. And the federal government, for the first time, the House Appropriation Committee just appropriated more than $1 billion for research. The Senate hasn't done it yet. Before that, it was always less than $1 billion. And I know it sounds like a lot of money, but this disease needs a minimum of $2 billion a year for research to find a cure.
Just a minimum?
Just a minimum. And because we're concerned that, you know, the federal government estimates by 2050 this will triple, and people are living longer, and more people will have this disease.
Wow. And I guess they really haven't found the cause?
No, they haven't. You know,
I mean, you would think, right?
You would think they would, but you know, it's always been tangles in the brain and elevated levels of what's called amyloid plaque. But now scientists are contradicting that as well. So that's the need for greater research dollars. We support research and we fund research, and it's about giving hope and hopefully someday finding a cure. But in the absence of that, what's critically important is care.
Right. Memory screening, how's that done?
That's critically important, and that's, you know, what we talked about. You go to the doctor every year for an annual physical, they check everything, but how many times do they ask you, how's your memory doing?
No,
Let me do a memory screening.
I don't remember ever being asked about
that. So since the initiative of this program about a decade ago, we've screened more than 2.5 million people nationwide. It's a 10 to 15 minute process. We ask you a series of questions. It's confidential. If you score below a threshold, we give you the results anyway, but we then recommend, it's not a diagnosis, we then recommend you go to your primary care physician for further checkup, because certain things like depression, a thyroid issue,
play a factor.
Vitamin deficiency, stress, can all play a factor with your memory. Those are treatable, somewhat correctable. So we always encourage people, if you're going to score below this threshold, go to your doctor and talk about this issue. It's so critically important.
Of course. What is every time I think of Alzheimer's, I think of somebody that's of a certain age. Has there ever been a case where it's been detected in an earlier age?
Oh, of course. I mean, there's a family that we know very well in New York, on Long Island. Husband was in his 30s, died in the early age of 40s. His kids were 9 and 10. His wife was in her 30s. They became the caregivers. One of the initiatives we do is we have chapters in high schools and middle schools, and we go to colleges. And you may say you're talking about Alzheimer's, but you're never too young to learn about this disease. You're never too young to be a caregiver, and it's going to affect your life one way or another with a friend or a loved one. So memory screenings is just a part of a healthy brain checkup as you promote a healthy body.
Right, right. And what are some of the lifestyle choices I guess we have to make?
Well, it's what you promote in your life. You know,
Right.
healthy lifestyle. You say, you know, take care of your body today, take care of
Right.
you tomorrow. It's the same thing with the brain as well. You know, a lot of things you do for your heart affects your brain as well. Eating right, your diet, exercise. It's so critically important. But brain exercises as well.
Right.
You know,
I've seen some TV commercials about that.
you have puzzles. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
They say one of the best things is ballroom dancing. Because
Ballroom dancing.
Because from head to toe, you have to know every step.
That's true.
And I always like to tell people the basics. You know, if you're right-handed and you brush your teeth every day with your right hand, tomorrow start with your left
the
hand.
left hand.
Because then you're going to exercise your brain and program your brain.
Wow.
Whatever you do with your hand, try the opposite. And you're
Okay.
exercising your brain. It may not be with a weight or running or
Right.
jogging or push-ups or something, but that's the way you exercise your brain, by making it work a little bit different.
Okay. What forecast? What are we forecasting? For
Yeah,
that?
we're forecasting hopefully someday a cure. The federal government needs to step up with more research
Right.
dollars, but it's growing. It's growing in our society because people are living longer. And what we want to promote is a healthy lifestyle. You know,
Of course.
it's so critically important. You talk about it, we all talk
Yeah.
about it, but when people should take that to heart and not wait. And the first thing is when you do see a sign in somebody's cognitive change in their behavior, whether it's language, memory, or behavior,
Right.
address it right away. Don't be in denial.
That's right.
It's so
and
critically
where
important.
can they get more information?
They get through the Alzheimer's Foundation of
Okay.
America, and that's why we were founded by our board chairman, who was a caregiver for his mom, really didn't know where to go. So he founded the foundation on a national level. We have a national toll-free helpline. It's staffed by licensed social workers that are dementia care specifically trained.
All right.
And we receive thousands of calls, and the toll-free number is 866-232-8484.
Chuck, thank you very much.
Thanks so much for
Appreciate
having me
it.
on.
Appreciate it. No problem. Okay, guys, still to come. Reading is essential when it comes to developing literacy at a young age. Ahead, find out how one woman is promoting literacy through easy reads when Healthy Lifestyle returns in just a moment.